this is Divine Sunshine. I want to do just a quick check-in and conversation with the Divine Masculine and the Divine Karmic. Let's go on in and see this. This is the ones that know that they are divine, because I just deal with the divine energy. So these are also divine counterparts, divine feminines that are in the wrong in the wrong relationship, but however is there because they have a lesson to learn. A dojo, it's a dojo situation in it because they're helping each other to learn the actual way. So I'm gonna check into that, not the ones that the low down dirty ones that kill me, like they put do they did hoodoo, they knew who well, I ain't doing all that. Okay, so we ain't checking into that. So we're going to have this conversation about that. So now let me just ask, very quickly, I want to see what's the overall, what's the energies, what's going on now. Here, one more. It's all in the box here. Clear. What happened in the past? Whoa. Whoa. Wow. And what's happening now? Too many. All right, so in the past energies, what's happening between these two? Again, this is the divine masculine and the divine karmic. Okay, again, my definition is, again, a divine karmic is one that is also a twin counterpart, a twin flame that's in there acting as a role as a hard teacher to help the divine masculine to get out of the situation. Okay. Yeah, I understand. I don't know if they're ready for that. They're saying, some ways they're saying, aren't they all divine? Because again, they're still playing the role, whichever way it is, to help them to see the light. And yes, that is true. But some of them are not them, but in the community are not ready in some ways to hear that in some ways on that. So if you're on my channel, you're ready to hear and understand, to look at it in a different way on that one. If not, thank you for looking at the channel and whatever. So, but I thank you for coming and finding me, which lets me know you're ready to take it out of just that resonant. We're divine. That means we're not looking at things from 3D reality aspect, the physical. We're looking beyond that and seeing how is it teaching us. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Here we go. So we got the 9 of Cups. So in the past here, we got a cut out of a woman here. So this lets me know in this 9 of Cups energies, it's like he had an idea, image, or a template of a woman that she wanted to be. She's playing house. See a dollhouse here. But at the same time, she felt like she's a bird in the cage, like my Maya Angelou. She was becoming very nostalgic on some things. She wanted to really kind of set sail there. She had a lot of cups, a lot of things she offered as far as like love that she had offered as well. Trying to be very sophisticated, very this tea. But she knew at the same time that she was kind of like sewing things together, which to me again is also some maybe sewing yarn, trying to create like a new identity. Okay, I'll stay with that. All right. And she had some really here, what we have here is like to be in a situation. There was some hopes and dreams that were really being poured out. We got the star. So we're right here where you got the star energy. We got some Aquarius, Pisces, and some other thing, but definitely Aquarius, because Aquarius is a sign that they have here for them to pour out energies in the emotions as well. Not saying it's that, but it was just saying this is some Aquarian energy. Then we have an Aquarius moon or something like that. It looks like to be this kind of happened during this time, the Aquarian moon. Okay, so whenever that happened, this is when this started. This is the past. This is when it was as well. So a lot of pouring out, kind of, trying to fill her own cup and let it overflow. However, there was a tower. Here comes the fact. Dun, dun, dun. And so we have the famous tower. Lightning struck it. Again, this is look like the tower in Paris. That means in the land of love that she had. And then it struck. And so, you know, when things struck like that to be, it looks like it was like Humpty Bumpty. I see a man and a woman fall. They had this great fall from wherever they were. They were really up high, seeing the love and seeing the land that they had. And something caused the tower to happen. What was that tower? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, the green giant. Clear. What was the tower? This thing was a sense of community, which is the three. Community here, which was this family here, coming together. The idea of lovers to me that had been written in stone. That means like it ain't gonna change. Okay. Here, and I see peace here. So that was created to be the lovers in stone will be the divine twin flames. Because I see a pillar. When I look at this, I see a pillar, like two pillars, and pillars means the twin flames. That's caused it. Emotionally, I say that the feminine was doing a lot of work behind the scenes, creating things to turn. I'm talking spiritually, because I said this more the spiritual outlook of it. Learn how to be flexible, kind of writing her own history, right? Creating her own things. And which that calls for the divine masculine to have bad health. Because of the towers which was that he was in, so I figured like he had fallen like Humpty Bumpty, tried to put him together again, and he ended up being in this hospital, which again, because of the tower, what moment had happened, he was looking a lot to the divine feminine to really help him get out of the situation that he's in, which caused him to kind of open up the windows to his soul and try to get some enlightenment. This also felt, this karmic also felt that she could feel, because again, like I said, we're talking more of a layer of the spiritual. She could feel that again, that this was going on. And a lot of time the divine masculine was looking either in the physical world, he was looking, maybe she was helping him out financially or whatever like that, or he was draining his strength, either communicating with her or either just turning his and thinking and tapping into her energy. And it was getting him strength too, right where he was at. And that, all these things caused a tower moment to happen. The community, it looked to me like community is almost like across the board. They had a sense of family right where they were, but then this lovers in stone here caused for this to kind of happen, because that it still wasn't no change. Now tower electrified and pretty much gave light to a lot of things that was going on in the situation. So if it was already messed up, it got messed up more, because the electricity that got sent from source into the whole situation made it go worse than what it is. That's funny. I'm looking at, oh my God, the top card that's here is the coffin. And then I'm seeing the word thing, death. So presently, right now, we got some death going on here. Okay. What's happening here? I'm picking up the 7 of coins. Right now, it's like I'm tuning out. This is like headphones to me. I'm tuning out the world, but at the same time, I'm putting my antennas out to see about some ideas, like source bring it to me, or downloads from source or powers that be as well. But I'm also putting my antennas out to see what's going on, right? Like what's going on with this divine masculine as well. I'm kind of picking up her energies, what's going on with that. And so I got my antennas out. So that's maybe right now why you not hearing too much from your divine masculine, because right now she got antennas. She's on extra spidey mode. It's like I'm looking, like if you trying to talk to her, or do I feel like you've been thinking about her or whatever. So her antennas is up. Okay. And she's just thinking, but she's really kind of depressed about all things. The antennas is up and she's depressed. And she wants to really ascend and go up high. I see this hot air balloon here. You know, but she got to kind of let go of some of that hot air that she's been steaming off, because she probably been popping off and giving out a lot of broken promises in this situation as well. So right now she's moving into being a wise woman. This energy. She's doing a lot of reading. I see these illusions, these half moons here. So she's getting half truths. She's using some of her, well, it's gradual and it's leveling. Her intuition and her awareness is starting to grow as well, and starting to have her move into that energy of being a wise woman. This is what's actually going on now with that. Can you tell me what's actually, so that was in the past there. So what's making her become a wise woman? What's this all about? Because right now in her thinking, she's concerned about something. Now, every time when I see this card, it looks like he's in a funeral parlor. Like he's getting ready to make arrangements here. So in her thinking, it's like, I want to put something on the table. And on this one, I know this from my dad's past. And this is a serenity plan. And this most time people give you that when somebody passes or says a death. And so this is like, you know, they put on the flowers to kind of say, okay, just have peace. She's trying to find a little bit to put on the table. She's trying to find peace right where she is, because she's no death is coming, or death is already signed. She's just making arrangements at this time. And I see the light shining from the window, which is helping her to get some enlightenment right where she is. What other ways is she becoming wise? So to me, that looks like making peace with understanding the ending is coming, and just to start making arrangements. What else is it that she's becoming wise in? Okay, she's coming wise into understanding about the divine feminine's role. She's understanding that, again, she's got something beautiful to put on the table. She's a person that is a person of holding of beauty, that she, at the windows to her, she has nothing to, no obstructions as to you being able to see the window into her soul, as to who she is. She's very comfortable with where she is. She's understanding now that right now she's becoming wise to understand official person, that also in her thinking that she wants to become, oh, they got 220, so that again, that's the mastery number. She knows that I got twofold. She wants to, in her thinking, become an official person. It's like, how can I be like you all, a divine as well? I'm picking up, she's looking at the divine masculine, and she's seeing him wanting to become an official person. Like, I no longer want to play like I'm divine masculine. I now want to move into the energies that I'm actually am divine. So I want to become an official person. I want to, you know, really, I didn't earn my badges or my honor or my medals and stuff like here. And I see the sword here, which lets me know they're standing in their truth. With that, and I see one column. So right now he's working on his end of the twin flame structure of upholding the partnership as well. And she sees also, she wants to be, I see, a wise woman, but also she's seeing that the divine masculine is starting to become wise as well. This divine masculine could be older than her. I'm picking up some older things, or either he's got like an old soul, or he carries his way very old fashioned as well. But she's seeing right now, even in the dark, he has gained some enlightenment. She sees also that he wants to be something, that he wants to put something on the table. It's like, I want to put something on the table. You see, that's where he's moving the energy, and he knows that he's very becoming very worldly as well, very understanding of the world, like his material world, like the physical 3D. He's becoming understanding about that and how it's made up. Okay, so that's currently what's going on from the divine karmic. That's energies of what we're seeing from all the karmic view. It seemed like she was doing more of the talking. doing more talking for that. So now let's look and see about the divine masculine. Like, okay, what's going on with you in this, in the 3D? What's going on with this situation that's currently going on between you and this karmic? What's going on? 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 Okie dokie. Now in the 3D, this is what I'm saying. We got the Ace of Chalices. He knows who's this cup of love that he wants to offer this to. I'm also hearing him saying, I'm trying to make do with the way, the best thing that I have right now in some of the situations that you have here. He's got this Ace of Chalices, which again is this one cup of love that he already knows that he wants to offer. Okay, he feels that also what's going on with him, the divine masculine in this situation, feels that right now that the empresses came up with. He's looking at really to be, he's telling me that all the women in these situations look like to be they in their own power. Like the divine feminine, she doing her own thing, she in her power, she looking powerful. The karmic, divine karmic right now in her situation, she got a, well, I don't know why somebody said she got her foot on my neck. She's being powerful at this time as well. Yeah, because I see this serpent back, not this, like some dragon that's happening behind, that she's got this boots that's made for walking. So this divine masculine knows that on both sides of the coin that this karmic got these boots that's made for walking, and he also knows that the divine feminine has been able to walk. But they seeing both of them, he's seeing that they both are in the 3D, saying they listening to seashells, which is the ocean, which is again listening to their emotions more. And that's bringing a new aspect into things. And we see this again with this flow of water again, being able to go with the flow of their emotions. He also has the Ace of Wands here too, which is being comfortable with the divine feminine energies there. Some of y'all may or may not like to hear this, but I still, it's like you have to say it. But some of them are, you know, doing what they can to be comfortable with the karmic. This is some of them, not all of them, but they still got the twin flame energies in the background as far as what they want to actually see together with that. Some of this is also, this card is saying that this is really the karmic situation being burnt up. And this is how he really wants to come to the divine feminine. And for her to be open and receptive when that comes. And he just dotes on her and just loves on her. Okay, that's two. Like say, I got the fork in the road. And it's like you have to say it. I have to show both sides of it too. And then we have also with this here, we have the knaves of pentacles, which to be is, again, drunk in love, offering a cup. He's still saying at the end of the day, to me, it looked kind of like a little wild there. So he really, at the end of the day, forcing this cup of love. This only cup is really matched up of two, and the one is on the out. So he really knows, again, he still had this drunken love that we will be, when we do come together, that it will be just the divine feminine in himself. Okay, understanding that it got the curtain pulled. It's like no more hiding of this. This is what's going actually on. Okay, let's look and see from the divine masculine clear perspective what's actually going on. Poverty. Just like the other thing. It keeps on saying it's poverty, occupation, working, thief, and child. I'm picking up the conversation I had that you know that the divine masculine energies like to be able to protect, to provide, and profess. And I'm looking at this when I see here. I say, I see one of the things here that he cannot be able to do because of what he's saying about this situation. That's why he's not ready. The poverty thing here, letting know this got some childhood issues that he's got to work with. These things are old. He's trying to clean up what's going on with some old tools, and that's not going to happen. The new tool would be like, old tool would be him just constantly talking to himself. Okay, how's that working out for you? New tool will be like, let me go and actually go see somebody and get some counseling. Okay, this is where we are at right now. He feels right now in his thinking, I see the black cat, which is superstitious, meaning he's saying the same thing over again, saying if this happens, this is going to occur. He feels like now that everybody else is getting over like a fat rat than him. And so that's not helping this situation. Occupation. He's moving into the energies. I'm saying that something about his work as well. So he might be a change in his work, some of them. He might feel that also in his spiritual energies, he is feeling like he's got to cut some cords, try on some new fabrics of life. He's trying to get this enlightenment. He's working with the light, in which is going to be able to guide him as to what's the new identity, the new fabric of life, or what persona that he needs to wear that's going to be him. He feels again that he's been robbed. He does. He feels like in this situation he's been robbed. He feels like the Karmic's been laughing behind his back. He feels again that he's just trying to play along to get along, but he's putting on an act. He feels also that this child that came along here, whether it's his inner child or actually physical children, is robbing him and is keeping him tied or tethered to this situation. And he really wants to kind of find his way out, but the light is behind him. So that lets me know the two things. He's protected, and then the light behind him also represents that, he's not walking towards his enlightenment. He's kind of walking away by being in this situation. And then he's got this child here. So he wants to kind of, some of them is saying they want to return back to that new innocence, like a child wonderment of believing that he can be able to get out of this situation. It also could be there's children involved, and that's also playing a role because he feels like he wants to protect and provide for this child as well, as because of their innocence. That causes an issue as well. Okay, so that's where he is in the situation with that. What does his higher self say all about this whole situation? Here. Whoa, his higher self say, got the God Triton. This is a message here. His higher self said he's alarmed. He's concerned about the emotional issues. He's probably has sent a received message from the spirit or physical requiring them to go deep into the matter. He's concerned about it, and so he's also has received messages as his higher self that he needs to go much deeper, and this is going to require him to go more so than just the 3D level about what's going on with him. And this kind of dovetails into the all over general reading for the collective for the divine masculine about the storm. So this goes into that. So he's saying again, we could ask for clarify about that. What's going on? Clarify that for me, please. Because right now he's being directed. He's like, it's actually just taking him and like actually turning him to actually go in a certain direction. So he's directing like, about to say, is that him calling? Is that spirit calling him? Yeah. And it's saying like a lamp unto his feet, it shall direct his path. And so right now in that enlightenment that they're sending to the 3D version of the divine masculine, is helping him to get enlightenment right where he is. He's being directed as to the right way by them bringing the towers of this emotional storm that I talk about in the divine masculine reading. Okay, so already had did that, so I don't need to do that. So what I want to know is again, so what is this karmic dealing with right now? Real quick. I don't see that being quick because I'm going to that. Clear. What's this karmic dealing with presently? What? Jealousy, envy. Oh God. Punishment, changing course. So again, she might be that. I feel that's got some validity there too. That she probably is that. Let me go to the energy cards. Okay, clarify for me this jealousy. What's that about before I find out which way? So with this jealousy is again, she's envious. She's envious about what's going on between the divine masculine and divine feminine. A lot of them, I've seen that in my reading. I've seen that in Jupiter 11's read, also stating that just feeling like, it should have been me. I'm very vulnerable. I'm weak too. I need help. I need you to provide and protect me. But however, I know death is all around me. And I'm envious because right now I'm in death, and I feel like right now the divine feminine is moving her way into being life being around. Maybe that's why they have all these children represented here, because that could be also children could represent a new beginning as well. Not just also children, but it's always multi-layers to these readings too. So this also represents life, children. So she's around death. When he talks about you and moving into that energy, there's life. Again, she feel like this. She's a punishment. She feel like this is like a punishment, for that. It's like all I did was give my heart, and in turn, I got this. I'm being punished here, and now she's got to change course, which is causing her because she's got to get in her thinking more grounded and rooted in some things, as well. And I see the masculine to me is becoming more grounded and rooted in what he wants. And then also in the feminine energies here too as well, I'm seeing also the crown chakra and being able to get some enlightenment as well. And so that's helping for both of them, because we got to remember again, I told you this before, rather you like what I'm saying or not, that the divine karmic and the masculine, they're connected because of that energy for a reason. As something like attracts like. It's something that makes it likable for them to attract each other. So again, right now we're talking about the energies here, which is again becoming grounded and rooted. That's what they both got to work with in their thinking, and in the crown being able to receive and understand these downloads or whatever's being directed at them. Because again, they need to change course. Now, in this energy right now, we're not synergized. We're not doing the dance of entanglement, or we're getting swirled up like planets together, because right now the divine feminine has orbited away. She's kind of not like on that same vibration. And if it is something that needs to be changed course, it's much different than in the way that these two are doing the dance and showing. The divine feminine might have to change course or something, as far as like maybe I don't need to concentrate more so on what's happening with the divine masculine, and let me change course that way. Both of these two has got to change courses about the dynamic of this relationship that these two had, the karmic and the divine masculine. And so this is where they're going to have to start, and this is where she calls that split, and for them to kind of go their ways and now stop orbiting. And so now the divine masculine might be out there lost in space that way, but eventually it's going to orbit around and he's going to come back on this side, back to the divine feminine right now. But this is what's going on with them currently, with that stuff. So what's going on? Okay, I could be nice and to ask about the heart of the matter. How do you feel? Claire, how do you feel about this? What's in your heart space? What's in your heart space about all this here? This changing course and stuff. There's two, and I got the flapping in my mouth. Okay. Why do you feel that? No, it's not all my cards. Come on. Clear. Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I'm looking at it and saying, come on now. Okay, so what the conversation that I'm having in the head with the karmic is that, you know, the cards is coming out and it's looking like, I don't like to use the word stuck on stupid, but it looked like to me it's like you're not moving, karmic. This is what I'm saying. But when I had a conversation again with her, she's like, it's gotta be, this card helped to kind of change my mind, which is again, wants to have this exchange of gifts, which means it's an even exchange. Right now where she's at, things are dying, and she needs to make that change, of course, because it's not that even exchange of love that's going on here. So it has this card here. This situation is calling for you to trust, and it is. It's calling for her to trust because in her emotions, she feels like she wore a heart on her sleeve, and really in her thinking, she feels like she's the one that kind of draw the dagger out and kind of stabbed her own self in the back, you know, with this. Because really, to tell you the truth, okay, got a confirmation with, really to tell you the truth, the spirit has been talking to her. Now I'm talking about the divine karmic. We ain't talking about the extra ones that's around here doing whatever they doing like that. But I'm talking about the ones that on their way to evolve to get on out of there, because they're now starting to level by being in this situation. Might not quite be there, but no. Okay, so this is it. So this is what she said. So she's like, I gotta find me a relationship that, okay, I could be flexible, but then it's gotta be an even exchange of flow. Also want to move into the energy. She's saying that what brought this on is she wants a strong magnetic attraction. Some of them saying, I see how you hold the light for the divine masculine, how he's attracted by it. It's like a moth to the flame. No matter what, he's always going to come back to it because you are the holder of the light and he's that moth. Understanding that right now, because of the chemistry of where she's been at this point, understanding that, you know, all that glitters ain't gold. You know, everybody wear masks, you know, sometimes in these relationships. And it's up to you to be able to, when you come into these relationships, you make sure that they come to you with these masks off. And so it's time for her to, she understands that right now that they both were coming wearing masks. And he was really fool's gold, as Jill Scott got that song there. Silly of me, thinking that you'll stay, but something about you run away. Maybe I'm stupid or foolish, or maybe you're just playing me, or maybe it seems that we were never meant to be. Okay, I'll try to I'll put that in the community tab. That this is what this is. This is what she's singing now. Fool's gold. I thought I had something, but it wasn't it. So right now I want to go after get my own chemistry here so I could be able to, like something that's dying, but I could be able to regenerate it and create something new out of this death. Okay? Ego death for herself, ego death for the divine masculine as well. So now, right now, she's thinking and pondering, how can I be able to level up? How can I be able to find this chemistry just like the divine feminine has found in this divine masculine, which I thought was mine? How can I do that? And that's why she's saying things has got to change course, because there's no even exchange of love in this. And the chemistry and the magnetism about what I say, like attracting like. Now we becoming like the magnets. We're starting to repel each other. We're not on that same wavelength, because once that tower hit that went down in there, that split that off, and then that started a whole process of those two magnets or those two like energies they start kind of repelling from each other. So that could be just like, I know it used to be when it was like negative and positive, positive, negative, or whatever it is like that. And so the way of how they're carrying those charges is now is becoming very different. So she might be I don't, at this point with that. So that's what we're doing. What things have to change? I know I was moving into that. What's got to change right now? What's got to change? What's got to change for the divine masculine? Let's go back to him. We pretty much got a good understanding of what's going on with her. So what's going on there? Moving. Okay, it's got to move. Move in your conscious state of consciousness. Move where you are physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. All those things mentally. You got to move. It's time to move. I see the color brown here for this butterfly, which means elimination. Which again, here we got the color orange here, which is your sacral. And then we also have just a little bit of yellow here, which represents your, which represents also your solar plexus. Which lets know that the divine masculine needs to work on the following. His financial fears about moving. He's got his instability and survival mode, which is going to help him to learn to realize he's going to move into the energy when he does this, that he doesn't need much to be happy and to surrender. He also is going to, in his energies, understand that he right now is being blocked. It's him feeling stuck right there in that situation and feeling stagnated, uninspired. And he needs to move into that energies of reconnecting with self, nature, inner child, and movement. We said all that inner child was up here at the first place. And then he also needs to deal with this green. This green is not as green as I would like to. It's a little kind of dark, which means he's got to deal with the fear of expression, judgment, isolation, vulnerability, and weakness. Okay, this is what he's got to work with. Okay, in this movement. And keep the faith. Whole bunch of purple. This is a lot of crown, which means let the downloads come and let you know about what's the next thing that you need to actually be doing to help you on this part of the journey. And you're still dealing with the same energies, your sacral, your solar plex, and a little bit of brown, which lets me know you got to eliminate. You got to keep the faith. And you said that in the divine masculine, said that in this car, the cards about got to trust. Was it this one? Oh, that's the divine. Okay, so you all are right now, it seems like to me, you and the divine karmic and you is pretty much mirroring each other about this. Again, you got to have faith, which again, like I said, the trust issues as well, okay, to eliminate, to make sure that it happens. What is it that you have to surrender? Clear. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. It's time for relationships to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. I picture it is, and I don't know who said that. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it goes back to Jupiter 11:11, so we kind of crossing over each other about this fixing stuff. That shows up to me with this is because, again, he feels like I picked up very strongly for the Divine Master that he thinks that he can be able to fix this divine karmic. He feels in some ways that by him being there or either staying there after he is kind of, I think she put down there, let him kind of like let her drown or let her be like that and just turn his back on her, that he feels in some ways why he's staying there before he actually makes that move to say let's walk is because he feels like he wants to kind of help be there to help her as well, but he's got to surrender that idea as well. So it might be a couple of them saying, no, I'm going to stay there, but I'm telling you why. That's not your job. You have to remember, and I said this is the conversation that I think with Benita, that, you know, all of us signed up for this. This ain't no accident how this stuff it came about. And I know definitely you heard Kathy talk about that, even the playground. She's like, I don't know what they was passing out, but whatever they was passing out, I sure like to know it had been something Wayne Dang Doodle, that whatever they passed out. And that's the same thing. This also, the karmic, divine karmic, is also has came in the situation willingly, not unwillingly. Now, how maybe it all turned out or whatever, the key players or the actions that had been done, maybe she's like, I didn't know the particulars of it, but you did sign the contract to say that, yes, you would help out, okay? And to make sure that this also occurs, okay? What is the divinity? That he needs to work with? Clear. Goddess of power. So in his emotions, he's got to learn here, and you got the Lilith card. And when I look at the Lilith card, it represents this. Understanding that, hey, you done did some things that were ugly. The good, bad, and ugly. But understanding how you can take that, be able to still be vulnerable, stand in your power, have your integrity, even in the darkness that you are, and still be able to own your power in it. That's it. You might have been in a karmic situation. You might have acted straight up karmic-y. You might have even wrote the playbook of being a karmic divine master. But at the end of the day, in your emotions, you need to work on, they want you to work in getting your divinity to work in your power. Although you got this karmic ways or situation, but still learn how to be dynamic regardless. That's why I picture like this here. Because this snake could be the karmic situation, you know, and any time it can bite you or whatever, or strangle you in the situation, but you got to learn how to be able to have that balance in it, okay? Is there anything you would like to say to the divine feminine, your parting things? I didn't hit on that. What would you like to say to the divine feminine? Clear? He said, we are in each other's life for a reason. Thank you for showing up. He's let me know that really when you came, you helped him to open up his eyes to know that just like the reading I did for the Divine Masculines collective, if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't have been able to understand that where he was living in the physical and his attachment to it was not right. It's something else beyond just the physical. With that, he said, I know I messed up and did things that made it seem like I don't care, but trust me, you are my world. Okay. All right. And what is the energies that the divine masculine is working towards? I don't need to do that one because when you said that, that's pretty much hook, line, and sinker to that. Clear. Source, where's the energies you're going to be moving this divine masculine towards? Okay. Rome was not built in a day. So currently, Two of Wands. Him being able to kind of, to me, when I see that, look at the window of the soul, but know that in looking at the window of your soul and your emotions, you've got to take some actions. These are Wands. You got Two of Wands here. Really get to know the physical world that you say that you so-called attached to. Understand, get you a map or some form of transportation to get you so you can be able to make that move right now, baby, from where you are, from point A to point B. But even in your sitting, you're still taking actions because you're thinking, you're strategizing as to how you're going to do that. Also, the movement of the energies that they're moving you towards is also looking at the mirror. Though they had, I think, what was it? What was that one? Then the car I did it last time. Oh, yeah. About you masquerading. That's almost like a part two, a continuation. And understanding how you are. Look at the window, look at the mirror at yourself and how you let yourself, these negative thoughts and things like this, keep you in bondage, keep you blinded by really being able to see. And this is actually who you want to be. You want to be able to be free. So look at yourself and see what is actually going wrong. But this is actually on the outside you portraying it, but on the inside, this is all going on inside of you. Okay, and so you want to make sure that this outside, so within, is like so without, so without is so within. So you want to make sure that you all are on the same page of understanding how you want to be able to express yourself out into the world, and for you not to be tied up by negative thinking. That you and being blinded by things. It's like now you're moving into the energies of not being blinded. Because I could easily turn this around and say that that's her looking at her on that one. Okay, and this is the opposite. Okay, and she's looking not this way. Okay, so my thing is this. It's about reflections, really taking that deeper introspective look right now emotionally. So when this ends, like they say right now, the death in the towers, then divine masculine, the real work starts to begin. Because now it's time for you to, after you do that, sit in your emotions, but sit with actions, your intent as to what you actually want to do, as well as far as tackling the world and where you want to end up going. And then also know with that it's time for you to move into the point where you take introspection about yourself, how you viewing yourself, how you allowing things to tie you up, and how you able to have this negative dialogue with self. Okay, all right, that is it. So until next time, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you. I hope to see you on the 411 event on tomorrow. Remember, if you would like to have these divine masculine cards too, as well, that I had used, these are for my own collection. Go to divineunisouls11.co. They are 88 cards in all, and it is $44, and that includes shipping and handling. All right, then. See you. I say uplifted, motivated, and ascended. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, namago. Love you. Do it again.